Last time on Say Less I Love You.
The public wants answers, and they deserve them. Neuromax could help thousands of suffering patients.
We're talking about people's lives. The current formula is dangerously unstable.
Right before he went into a coma, he contacted me. Had me get his affairs in order.
That man didn't drive across town just for a 30-second update. He wanted to see you.
Tomorrow night, just you and me.
You're still so naive. This was never about fairness. It's about who has the killer instinct to do whatever it takes.
You want to play dirty? Fine, game on.
Nyla Thomas thought she was getting a simple fake marriage.
If I marry you, will you save my granddaddy?
Yes. All you have to do is say, I do.
But things got a lot more complicated than a simple wedding.
Neuromax isn't working. Your grandfather won't survive.
You were supposed to marry me, Jacob.
And Nyla has been met with the ultimate consequences.
He took all of her money and left.
How am I going to pay my bills?
We aren't sure what happened to him, but it doesn't look good for Mr. Stone.
While love is struggling to find its place, it's time to find out.
Alexander, no, it won't work.
There's a lot you don't know about me, Laurie.
I still love you. I always have.
If Nyla can pick up the pieces of the Stone Empire.
Chapter 226. Nyla. I pull up to Kyra's modest brownstone, my hands still trembling from the confrontation with Kevin. I've learned about Trixa's elaborate plans to beat me. And I know how Trixa works, but Marcus still eludes me. I need to understand him, to get inside his head. And only Kyra can give me those answers. Autumn leaves scatter across the steps as I make my way to her door. Kyra welcomes me into her living room, the space filled with academic books and the subtle scent of jasmine tea. I sink into the plush armchair while she perches on her floral sofa. Concern etched across her face as I recount everything. He's making us compete for Neuromax like it's some twisted game show, I say, running my fingers through my hair. Trixa and I have to battle it out for his approval. The one who gets the biggest contract wins. Kyra's hands tighten around her teacup. Marcus always had intensity, but this is something else entirely. I thought he was different. When I first met him at the hospital, he seemed like a good man who cared about helping people. My voice catches. How did he become this monster who'd poison his own daughter's fiancé? The Marcus I knew. Kyra pauses, pain flickering across her face. He was brilliant, passionate about his research. We were going to change the world together. What happened? I lean forward, searching her expression. You loved him once. How did he turn into someone who treats his own children like pawns? Kyra sets down her cup, the china clinking softly against the saucer. Her eyes grow distant with memories. I've asked myself that question 1,000 times. Please, I whisper. I need to understand why he's doing this to us. Kyra takes my trembling hands in hers, her fingers warm and steady against my cold skin. There's something you need to know about why we gave you up, she says, her voice catching. It wasn't our choice. My heart pounds against my ribs. What do you mean? It was Hilda Stone. Kyra's grip tightens. When Marcus and I made the original Neuromax breakthrough, we were so young, so naive. We thought we could change the world. What did Hilda do? The words barely escape my throat. She threatened to destroy everything. Our careers, our research, our lives. She was worried that when we became parents, we would lose the hunger. She thought a baby would get in the way of our future. Kyra's eyes glisten with unshed tears. She said if we didn't give you up, she'd make sure we never worked in pharmaceuticals again. She wanted complete control of our research. She made you choose between your baby and your life's work. The room spins as the implications hit me. We tried to fight it, but she had too much power, too many connections. Kyra's voice breaks. The day they took you away, I've never felt pain like that. I squeeze her hands, anger burning in my chest. All these years, Hilda has been manipulating everyone around her. First my parents, then Jacob, and now me. The woman's cruelty knows no bounds. That's why Marcus changed, Kai whispers. Losing you broke something in him. He became obsessed with power, determined to never be vulnerable again. The revelation settles over me like ice. My whole life has been shaped by Hilda Stone's ruthless ambition. Kyra's hands tremble as she refills her teacup, the liquid splashing slightly over the rim. After I lost you, Marcus changed. His ambition consumed him. He married into old money through Trixa's mother, climbed the social ladder. And you never tried to contact him? I ask, watching her carefully. She shakes her head, setting down the cup with a soft clink. I threw myself into research, tried to forget. For years I assumed he'd found his happiness in that world of wealth and privilege. But now he's back. The words hang heavy in the jasmine-scented air. Kyra's eyes darken. When I heard he'd faked his death, everything shifted. The Marcus I knew would never abandon his daughter, his company, his whole life, unless... Unless what? Unless he was plotting something bigger. She leans forward, voice dropping. The timing of his return, the way he's manipulating you and Trixa against each other. I can't help but wonder if this is all about revenge against the Stones. My stomach twists. Against Hilda, you mean? She took everything from him. His research, his child, his dignity. Kyra's fingers grip the armrest. What better revenge than using his own daughters to destroy her family's empire from within? The revelation hits me like a physical blow. I've been so focused on winning this twisted competition, I never stopped to consider why Marcus set it up in the first place. Oh God, I whisper. We're just pawns in his vendetta against Hilda. And knowing Marcus, Kyra adds grimly, this is only the beginning. Kyra leans forward, her tea forgotten. This competition, it's Marcus attempting to regain control. He has everything he needs, Neuromax, Jacob's life, and you. I'm not on his side, I interrupt sharply, straightening in my chair. He's still a criminal who's poisoned Jacob. A bitter laugh escapes Kyra's lips. Whatever Marcus has become, he's not half the monster Hilda Stone is. That woman, her hands clench around her teacup. She destroyed families, lives, careers, all for power. I study her face, seeing decades of pain etched in the lines around her eyes. The hatred for Hilda runs deep, maybe even deeper than mine. But what's his endgame? I ask, my mind racing. Why pit Trixa and me against each other like this? I've been asking myself the same question. Trixa can point the finger at Stone Hospital Group. I finish, the pieces falling into place. She'll claim Marcus's original patent was safe and non-addictive, that the Stones corrupted it out of greed. Exactly. Kyra's eyes gleam. The perfect revenge, destroying Hilda's legacy while positioning Trixa as the righteous whistleblower. The elaborate scheme takes my breath away. All these years, Marcus has been plotting to bring down the woman who tore his family apart. And now he's using his daughters as weapons in his war. The rage builds inside me like a gathering storm, my fingers digging into the soft fabric of the armchair. Every word Kyra speaks fans the flames higher. Hilda Stone didn't just manipulate Jacob or try to destroy me. She systematically dismantled my entire family before I was even born. That woman, I spit out, my voice trembling with fury. She's the reason I grew up without you. The reason Marcus became... I can't even finish the sentence. Kyra reaches for me, her hands shaking. I wanted you so much. Every birthday, every Christmas, I wondered where you were, if you were happy. The dam breaks. I launch myself forward, wrapping my arms around my birth mother. She smells like jasmine and safety and lost possibilities. Tears stream down my face as I hold her tight, years of longing and anger pouring out. We'll make her pay, I whisper fiercely into Kyra's shoulder. For everything she took from us. For Jacob. For our family. Kyra's arms tighten around me. Together, she promises, her voice thick with emotion. I pull back just enough to meet her eyes, seeing my own determination reflected there. Hilda Stone's reign of destruction ends now.
Chapter 227. Trixa. I shift in my leather chair, savoring the anticipation as Chase reviews the final contract. The morning sun streams through the floor-to-ceiling windows, casting a golden glow that feels like nature itself blessing my moment of triumph. Everything is falling perfectly into place. These distribution terms look excellent, Chase says, his Mont Blanc pen hovering over the signature line. I aim to please, I purr, crossing my legs under the glass conference table. The memory of our hotel encounter flashes through my mind. Sometimes business requires going the extra mile. I lean back in my chair, letting my fingertips dance along the edge of the contract. The exclusivity clause gives you first rights to distribution for 3 years. Chase nods, clearly pleased with himself. Poor fool has no idea I've buried enough loopholes in the fine print to drive a truck through. 3 years is perfect. We'll have Neuromax in every one of our pharmacies. And the pricing structure? I ask innocently, though I already know every detail by heart. Brilliant. The tiered approach means we can adjust based on demand. He taps the paper appreciatively. Your father would be impressed with these numbers. My lips curve into a satisfied smile. Daddy will be more than impressed. He'll finally see I'm the only daughter worthy of his legacy. Speaking of numbers, did you notice the performance incentives on page 12? Chase flips through, scanning the section. These are incredibly generous. I believe in rewarding loyalty, I say smoothly, watching him fall deeper into my web. The contract ensures his company takes all liability while we retain full control. By the time anyone realizes, it'll be too late. You're something else, Chase says admiringly. Not like other pharmaceutical reps I've dealt with. I'm not a pharmaceutical rep, I'm a CEO, I reply, savoring my imminent victory. Once Marcus sees how I've outmaneuvered everyone, there will be no question who deserves to run his empire. Poor Nyla won't know what hit her. Kevin clears his throat awkwardly beside me, shuffling papers without meeting my eyes. Poor boy still feels guilty about betraying Nyla. But business is business, and he chose the winning side. Before I sign, Chase leans forward, I need assurance this won't come back to bite me. Your sister seemed pretty confident about her pitch. I wave my hand dismissively. Nyla's all talk. She doesn't have the business acumen to do this revolutionary drug justice. This deal will cement Neuromax's future, and yours. Well then, Chase grins, lowering his pen to the paper, to a very profitable partnership. I lean back, victory within my grasp. Finally, undeniable proof that I'm Marcus's true heir. Let's see little sister compete with this. But before Chase has a chance to sign, his secretary enters the conference room and whispers in his ear. I drum my fingers on the glass table, irritation prickling under my skin, her presence interrupting our moment of triumph. The contract sits tantalizingly close to being signed, the Mont Blanc pen still hovering over the signature line. I'm sure it can wait, Chase says with practiced politeness, but his secretary leans in close, whispering something that makes all the color drain from his face. Please excuse me a moment. Chase pushes back from the table, nearly knocking over his water glass in his haste. Kevin shifts uncomfortably beside me. Something's wrong. You think? I snap, watching Chase's retreating back through narrowed eyes. The victory I'd been savoring moments ago turns bitter on my tongue. Whatever this interruption is, it better not derail my carefully orchestrated deal. Through the glass walls of the conference room, I catch glimpses of heated conversation in the hallway. Chase's hands move in agitated gestures as he speaks with someone just out of view. The morning sun that felt so promising minutes ago now seems to mock me with its cheerfulness. "Should we?" Kevin starts. "Shut up," I hiss, straining to hear what's happening outside. "Just let me think." My long fingers tap an anxious rhythm on the table as I watch Chase's face grow increasingly distressed. Something about his expression sends an uneasy chill down my spine. Whatever this is, it can't be good for our deal. Movement beyond the glass wall catches my eye and my heart stops. That smirk, that infuriatingly confident smirk on my half-sister's face makes my blood boil. Nyla stands there in a crisp white blazer, looking every bit the professional I've tried to paint her as not being. My nails screech against the glass conference table. What is she doing here? My leg twitches nervously under the table as I watch Chase lingering with Nyla. What could possibly be taking so long? Our deal is perfect. The exclusivity terms, the pricing structure, everything calculated down to the last decimal. "This is ridiculous," I mutter, making sure my hair is still perfect. She can't possibly have anything better to offer. Kevin shifts uncomfortably beside me. "Maybe we should..." "Should what?" I snap. "Our deal is practically done. Intent is 3/5 of the law, right? All he has to do is sign." Kevin's silence makes my stomach drop. I turn to face him, catching the grimace he's trying to hide. "That's not actually a thing, Trixa," he says quietly. "Until he signs, there's no deal." "But we shook on it." The words come out more shrill than I intend. "We had an understanding." Kevin's expression turns pitying. An understanding isn't legally binding, and if Nyla gets control of the distribution, my blood runs cold. "What are you saying?" "I'm saying your sister isn't as naive as you think she is." Kevin gathers his papers, avoiding my gaze. "She's learned to play the game." Through the glass, I see Chase nodding intently at whatever Nyla's showing him on her tablet. The confident smirk I wore earlier slips from my face as an uncomfortable realization settles in. I've catastrophically underestimated my half-sister. "Kevin!" I hiss through clenched teeth. "Do something!" But he just shakes his head. "There's nothing to do. If she pulls off a deal, we're done."
Chapter 2, 128. Nyla. Through the glass walls of Chase's corner office, I catch Trixa and Kevin watching me like hawks. I give them a little wave, enjoying how Trixa's perfectly made-up face contorts with rage. "So, Chase," I say, settling into the leather chair across from his imposing desk. "I've been reviewing the deal points of your agreement with Trixa." Chase's eyebrows shoot up. "How did you—" "That's not important." I tap the stack of papers I've brought. "What is important is whether you noticed these concerning details in the fine print." I flip through the contract methodically, my finger tracing each problematic clause. "See this section here? It gives Trixa's company sole discretion to adjust shipping fees without notice. You could end up paying triple what you budgeted." Chase leans forward, squinting at the fine print. His confident facade cracks. "That can't be right. And look at this liability clause." I slide another document across his gleaming desk. "Your company assumes all responsibility for any adverse effects, including addiction, which, by the way, isn't mentioned anywhere in the safety disclosures." "My legal team reviewed everything." Chase's voice trails off as he frantically scans the pages. "Did they? Or were you—" I pause deliberately, distracted. His tan skin takes on a sickly pallor. Through the glass walls, I catch Kevin shifting uncomfortably while Trixa's pretends to be busy responding to emails and not looking at me every 5 seconds. "There's more." I point out 3 more buried clauses. Exclusive distribution rights that aren't actually exclusive, hidden service charges, Annual fee increases with no cap. Chase loosens his tie, sweat beading on his forehead. I need to call my lawyers. Of course. I gather my papers smoothly. Though you might want to ask them how they missed all this the first time, unless someone deliberately rushed the review process. His eyes dart to the conference room where Trixa sits fuming. Understanding dawns on his face, followed quickly by anger. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, he says stiffly. I'll be reconsidering our arrangement. I smile, knowing I have him right where I need him. Happy to help. Always good to read the fine print. Chase eyes me suspiciously. Somehow, I doubt you are offering this analysis without something in return. I'm not here just to point out the problematic elements of Miss Swan's deal. I want to show you how my offer eliminates all those issues. I slide the contract across his polished desk. Plus, I'm offering a 30% reduction from Trixa's price point. Chase rubs his jaw, clearly impressed but hesitating. His eyes dart to where Trixa stands fuming behind the glass. Look, I'm not so sure this was a good idea. Trixa and we have an understanding. An understanding? I lean forward, holding his gaze. You mean the kind that happened in your hotel room a few nights ago? I resist the urge to roll my eyes at Chase's obvious discomfort. How do you know? Let's be real here. An understanding built on manipulation isn't exactly solid business ground. I cut him off as I tapped my finger on the contract. I'm offering you the better deal, period. Chase pushes back from his desk, his chair squeaking against the polished floor. Are you blackmailing me? I can't help but laugh, the sound echoing off the glass walls. Blackmail? Please. I'm not interested in whatever happened between you and Trixa in that hotel room. His face tightens. Then what's your angle here? My angle? I tap the contract in front of him. Is pure business. If you don't want to take this deal, it doesn't hurt me. It only hurts you. Chase's eye twitches, a sure sign he is feeling the heat. And how will it hurt me? I shrug as if I have all the time in the world. Tomorrow morning, you'll walk into your board meeting. They'll want to know why you chose an objectively terrible deal over one that saves the company millions. I lean forward, keeping my voice level. What will you tell them? That you were thinking with something other than your business sense? Chase's tie suddenly seems too tight as he tugs at it. Through the glass, I see Trixa's eyes burning with rage. The board doesn't need to know about the circumstances, he mutters. They don't, but they will ask questions about these contract terms. I spread the papers across his desk. Are you prepared to defend paying premium prices for zero exclusivity, or explain why you accepted unlimited fee increases? His silence tells me everything I need to know. I'm offering you a clean way out, I say, sliding my contract forward. Better terms, better price, pure business, no complications. Your choice. His Adam's apple bobs as he swallows hard. I can practically see the mental calculations running behind his eyes. Reputation versus profit margins, scandal versus shareholders. After what feels like an eternity, Chase extends his hand across the polished mahogany desk. You drive a hard bargain, Miss Thomas. I grasp his hand firmly, satisfaction coursing through me as we shake. That's what happens when you focus on actual business instead of bedroom deals. Chase shuffles the papers on his desk, his earlier bravado completely deflated. I'll need time to have my team review everything properly. No more rushed decisions. Take all the time you need. I slide a single sheet across his desk. This is just a basic letter of intent. States you're entering exclusive negotiations with me for 90 days. He scans the document, probably looking for hidden traps like the ones I exposed in Trixa's contract. And if we can't reach final terms, Then we part ways. No hard feelings. I lean back, projecting calm confidence. But I think once your team does their due diligence, they'll see this deal makes the most sense for everyone. Chase picks up his Mont Blanc pen, hesitating for just a moment before signing the letter with a flourish. 90 days of exclusive negotiations. He hands me the signed paper. My team will be in touch to start the review process. Perfect. I tuck the document into my briefcase, savoring the sweet taste of victory. I look forward to working together. As I stride past the conference room, Trixa's ice-cold glare could freeze hell itself. I give her a small wave, unable to resist twisting the knife just a little. Her composure finally cracks as she knocks over her water glass, sending it shattering across the polished table. The sound of breaking glass follows me down the hallway like applause. The victory tastes even sweeter, knowing I won this round fair and square.
You think you can catch me? You think you can tame me?
Oh, I know I can. And you know it too, baby.
I gotta tell you, you're not the first to try.
But don't worry, baby. I'll be the last.
With sass like that, maybe I'll be the one that needs to tame you.
Let's cut to the chase, big boy. What you selling me?
Your appetite is big AF. I have just the thing that'll satisfy you.
Oh, really? And what's that?
Over 120 hours of romance audiobooks. Brought to you by Tyla Walker Romances in the Big AF Audio Bundle.
120 hours? That sounds amazing.
Your knees won't work afterwards if I do my job right.
Don't make promises you can't keep.
Well, I can keep this promise. Because these audiobooks are unabridged with all the spicy scenes that will make you put your earbuds on. You know, Tyla can get freaky because she marked the bundle down by 69% for a limited time.
I can't wait to take this bundle for a ride.
Visit TylaWalker.com and get this audio bundle. Just don't start listening if you're going to be cooking dinner. Because you might just forget to feed your family.
TylaWalker.com. Escape your life with Tyla.
Chapter 229. Trixa. I pace the length of the conference room, trying to calm my mounting anxiety as Chase's absence stretches on. Through the glass, I catch glimpses of my half-sister's smug face as she speaks with him in his office. My blood boils. "What did you do?" I hiss at Kevin, who suddenly found the view of Manhattan extremely fascinating. "Nothing." He adjusts his tie, still avoiding my gaze. I have no idea what's happening. Bullcrap. I lean forward, lowering my voice to a dangerous whisper. "You've been fidgeting since before she walked in. Did you tell her about..." "About what?" Kevin's head snaps toward me, his expression too neutral. "About how you got this deal? Is there something specific you're worried about her knowing?" The implied threat in his tone makes my stomach clench. "Don't play games with me, Kevin. You're supposed to be on my side." "I'm on whatever side keeps me employed and out of prison." He shuffles the papers in front of him, his movements jerky and uncertain. "She got to you, didn't she?" The realization hits me like a slap. "What did my dear sister offer you?" Maybe she didn't have to offer anything. Kevin finally meets my eyes. Maybe she already had everything she needed. A chill runs down my spine as I process his words. "You treacherous little..." The conference room door opens, cutting off my accusation. I paste on my most winning smile, but Chase won't even look at me as he retakes his seat. I know in that moment I've lost. Chase's earlier enthusiasm has completely evaporated. "I'm afraid we won't be proceeding with the contract today." "We had a deal." I stand, my chair scraping against the floor. "What could she possibly have said to change your mind?" "She presented me with a better offer," Chase says as he straightens his tie. I scoff, crossing my arms. "And you expect me just to let you walk away from the deal because you changed your mind on a whim?" Chase looks me in the eye. "I recall not that long ago when you coerced me into changing my mind on a whim." "You can't back out now," I snap, desperation clawing at my throat. Actually, I can and I am. Chase's voice hardens. I suggest you leave before security arrives. This isn't over, I seethe, gathering my papers with shaking hands. It is for now. Chase holds the door open pointedly. Goodbye, Ms. Swan. I stalk into the lobby, my Louboutins striking the floor like gunshots. And there she is, my sanctimonious half-sister, brandishing my contract with that self-righteous smile I've grown to despise. You manipulative little bitch, I spit out, closing the distance between us. Did Daddy help you pull this off? Actually, I did it all on my own. Nyla's voice drips with satisfaction. Pure business sense, no bedroom required. The dig hits its mark. I clench my fists, imagining wrapping them around her throat. You have no idea what you've started. Oh, I think I do. She tucks the contract into her designer bag. Game recognizes game, sis. Maybe stick to what you're good at, backstabbing and spreading lies. I force a laugh, but it comes out brittle and sharp. You think stealing one deal makes you the queen of Manhattan? Please. My designer heels click against the marble floor as I close the distance between us. I have pharmaceutical companies lined up around the block. Really? Nyla's dark eyes gleam with amusement. Is that why you were so desperate to close with Chase? Because you have so many other options? I have meetings scheduled with... I stop myself, realizing I'm playing into her hands. I don't need to explain myself to you. No explanation needed. She adjusts her bag on her shoulder, that insufferable smile still in place. Your face says it all. You have no idea what I'm capable of. My voice drops to a whisper as I lean in close. This little victory? Enjoy it while it lasts, because I promise you, it's temporary. My triumphant sneer falters as Nyla's expression shifts from victory to something else. Pity? The sight of it makes my skin crawl. Actually, Trixa, you can have it all. Nyla's voice softens, catching me off guard. The fame, the glory, being Marcus's favorite, take it. I never wanted any part of this twisted competition. What are you playing at? I narrow my eyes, searching for the trap. No games. She pulls out the contract, holding it out to me. I'll give you the deal with Chase, the publicity, everything. Just give me the antidote for Jacob. I bark out a laugh. You expect me to believe you'd throw away your inheritance just like that? It's not throwing away anything. Nyla meets my gaze steadily. It's choosing what matters, and Jacob matters more than any of this. God, you're pathetic. I snatch the contract from her hand. Throwing away an empire for love? This isn't some Hallmark movie. No, it's real life. And in real life, I choose the man I love over playing Marcus's sick games. She adjusts her bag on her shoulder. So, congratulations. You win. Now tell me how to save Jacob. The sincerity in her voice throws me. For the first time, I see my half-sister clearly, not as competition, but as someone desperately trying to save the person she loves. It's almost admirable, in a foolishly romantic way. You might be okay taking my romantic sloppy seconds, but I'm not as desperate in business as you are in love. I shove the contract back into her hands. For a second, I wonder if I'm going crazy, but I've already taken part of Nyla's literal body. There is no way I'm going to be indebted to her more than I already am. Fine, she says, actually looking disappointed. She puts the contract back in her bag and smiles. Have a good day. Trixa, Kevin. I watch her walk away, my blood boiling. The lobby suddenly feels too small, too warm. My carefully constructed plans are unraveling, and for once, I don't have a backup strategy. Kevin appears at my elbow. Trixa, we should discuss... Not now. I cut him off through gritted teeth, watching Nyla's retreating form until she disappears into the elevator. Find out how she got the information about my deal. My voice comes out in an icy hiss. And if you had anything to do with this betrayal... Trixa, Kevin tugs at his collar, sweat beading on his forehead. Save it. I jab a finger into his chest. You've been acting strange since she walked in. Did you give her something? Tell her about our arrangement with Chase? No, of course not. His eyes dart to the side. Classic tell. Really? I arch an eyebrow. Because someone had to tell her about the contract terms, and you're the only other person who knew the details. Kevin's shoulders slump. She has the contract signed now, it's ironclad, and you don't have any other major clients lined up. The truth of his words hits me like a physical blow. I lost. To her. The realization burns through my veins like acid. We can still beat her, I snap, though my voice wavers. We have to beat her. Marcus will never forgive this failure. It's over, Trixa, for now at least. Kevin won't meet my eyes. She outmaneuvered us. I clench my fists, my nails digging into my palms. Nyla may have won this battle, but I'm far from defeated. This setback has only fueled my determination to destroy her completely.
Chapter 2, 130. Nyla. I stand in Marcus's sleek office, my fingers still gripping Chase's signed contract. The stark white walls and minimalist decor feel cold, much like the man before me. Yet as Marcus grabs my shoulders, something shifts in those ice blue eyes that mirror my own. You have the cunning and ruthlessness of a true swan running through your veins. I see myself in you, he says, his voice carrying an unfamiliar warmth. My heart swells traitorously at his words. For years, I dreamed of hearing pride in a father's voice directed at me, but not like this. Not for orchestrating the release of an addictive drug that will destroy countless lives. Don't compare us, I say, shrugging away from his touch. I'm nothing like you. No. His lips curve into that knowing smirk. You outmaneuvered Trixa brilliantly, used Kevin's weaknesses against him, secured the biggest pharmaceutical contract we've seen. Pure swan tactics. The contract feels heavy in my hands now, tainted. I did what I had to do to save Jacob, and that's exactly what makes us alike. Marcus circles his desk, pouring 2 glasses of amber liquid. We'll do whatever it takes to protect what's ours. He offers me a glass, but I shake my head. The difference is, I still have a conscience. For now, he sips his drink, studying me over the rim. But you'll learn, conscience is a liability in this world. Better to embrace who you truly are. His words send a chill down my spine because part of me knows he's right. I crossed lines I never thought I would. And the scariest part, I was good at it. I pull away from Marcus's grasp, my skin crawling at his attempt at fatherly affection. Don't get it twisted. Once I have that antidote, we're done. For good. Such certainty. Marcus reaches into his desk drawer, removing a small crystal vial filled with clear liquid. You've earned this, I must admit. Beating Trixa at her own game. Impressive. The vial catches the light as he holds it up. My salvation for Jacob, yet the price weighs heavy on my conscience. The antidote. Now. I hold out my hand, refusing to play into his mind games any longer. Marcus places the vial in my palm, but doesn't release his grip. A word of warning, daughter. Nothing in this world is as black and white as you paint it. Evil wears many masks. Spare me the fortune cookie wisdom. The stones. His voice drops low, meaningful. Be careful who you trust in that family. My stomach clenches, thinking of Hilda's secretive phone calls and cold demeanor. But I keep my face neutral. Thanks for the antidote. Don't thank me yet. He finally releases the vial, a knowing smirk playing at his lips. This is goodbye. For now. I turn on my heel, clutching the precious vial close. His words follow me out. This isn't over, Nyla. It's in your blood. The door clicks shut behind me with finality, but his warning about the stones echoes in my mind. As much as I hate to admit it, he might be right about one thing. I perch on the edge of Jacob's hospital bed, my heart hammering against my ribs as Lori carefully inserts the antidote into his IV line. The clear liquid drips steadily, each drop carrying my desperate hopes. His vitals are stable, Lori murmurs, checking the monitors. Now we wait. I squeeze Jacob's hand, willing warmth back into his cold fingers. Come on, baby. Fight this. The antiseptic smell of the hospital room burns my nose as I watch his face for any sign of change. The steady beep of machines marks time like a metronome, each minute stretching into eternity. You did what you had to do, Lori says softly, noting my troubled expression. Getting this antidote? I made deals with devils, I interrupt, stroking Jacob's arm. Used people, manipulated them, became everything I despised about Marcus and Trixa. That's not true. You fought to save someone you love. I shake my head. There has to be a better way. Once Jacob's better, I'm going to find it. No more playing their games. The minutes crawl by. 1 hour passes, then 2. I count Jacob's breaths, memorize every line of his face. Just when despair starts creeping in, I feel it. The slightest twitch of his index finger against my palm. Lori! I lean forward, heart racing. His finger moved. I brush my fingers through Jacob's dark hair, each strand silky against my skin. His eyelids flutter, the smallest movement, but enough to send my heart racing. The steady beep of monitors fills the sterile hospital room as I lean closer, searching his face for more signs of consciousness. Come on, baby, I whisper, squeezing his hand. I need those beautiful eyes open. Need to see you smile again. Lori checks his vitals, her movements precise and practiced. Blood pressure's rising slightly. That's good. What if my voice catches? What if the antidote doesn't work? What if Marcus gave me... Stop! Lori's firm tone cuts through my spiral. His body's already responding. Look. Jacob's fingers twitch against my palm again, stronger this time. A small moan escapes his lips. Jacob? I lean in closer, my heart thundering. Can you hear me? His eyelashes flutter more intensely now. I hold my breath, guilt and hope warring in my chest. I did terrible things to get here, made deals with devils, betrayed my principles. But seeing life returning to his face, I can't bring myself to regret it. Keep talking to him, Lori encourages. He's fighting his way back. I press my lips to Jacob's knuckles. I'm right here, not going anywhere until you wake up and tell me what an idiot I've been. His fingers curl weakly around mine in response. My heart leaps in my chest. For the first time in a long time, I finally have hope. And I realize in that moment, I would do anything to save the man I love. I kiss his hand as I suddenly feel it tighten around mine. My eyes well up with tears. He's going to be okay. Jacob is coming back to me. I thought I was getting a fake marriage, but I didn't know my story was being told by Miss Tyla.
This isn't just any fake marriage, now is it?
No, you introduced me to the devil.
Come on, girl, Jacob isn't that bad.
Oh, I love Jacob. His family, on the other hand?
Beggars can't be choosers, Nyla. You should be grateful I even let Jacob Stone look your way.
I just wanted to save my granddaddy. Is that so bad? Why couldn't you let this be a normal fake marriage? Instead, you put me in a twisty story filled with money, betrayal, power, and lies.
Let's not forget love.
That's what keeps me going. But not gonna lie, Miss Tyla. This story you got me in ain't the simple fake marriage, happy ending I thought it would be.
It's not. Because where would be the fun in that?
Treat yourself to Say Less I Love You. Tuesdays and Thursdays. New seasons premiere every month. Or skip the wait and grab the full series bundle from TylaWalker.com. Treat yourself with Miss Tyla.
Chapter 231. Lori. I smooth my skirt and take a deep breath before stepping into Alexander's office. Through the glass walls, I see him hunched over his desk, barking orders into his phone while furiously typing on his laptop. His suit jacket is draped over his chair, sleeves rolled up to reveal muscular forearms. I don't care what it takes, get it done, he snaps into the phone before hanging up. When he glances up and sees me, his entire demeanor shifts. The stern lines around his mouth soften into a genuine smile that reaches his eyes. Lori, this is a pleasant surprise. He stands, moving around his desk. I thought you'd want to know. Jacob's responding to the antidote. His vitals are improving and he's showing signs of consciousness. Alexander's shoulders visibly relax. That's incredible news. He runs a hand through his hair. When did this happen? Just a few hours ago. Nyla got the cure and we administered it right away. He's not out of danger yet, but these are promising signs. Thank God, he mutters, perching on the edge of his desk. I've been worried sick about him even though I tried not to show it. I could tell, that's why I came to tell you myself. I offer a small smile. You're not as good at hiding your feelings as you think? He chuckles softly. Only you seem to see through me so easily. His intense gaze locks with mine, making my heart skip. Just part of being a good nurse. Reading people, I deflect, though we both know it's more than that. Alexander steps closer, his cologne wrapping around me like an expensive embrace. You could have texted this update, his voice drops lower, but you came all the way here. Why is that? The intensity of his gaze makes my skin tingle. I resist the urge to step back, instead lifting my chin. Maybe I wanted to see your reaction in person. Try again. His lips curve into a knowing smile. I can read you too, Lori. There's something else. I take a steadying breath. Fine, I wanted to thank you. What you did for Nyla, helping her take down Kevin and Trixa, getting access to that antidote for Jacob. None of that would have happened without you. I didn't do it for them. His eyes lock onto mine with an intensity that steals my breath. I know. The words come out barely above a whisper. You risked a lot going against your family's interests like that. Worth it. He takes another step closer. To see that smile you're trying so hard to hide right now. I press my lips together, fighting the grin threatening to break free. I should get back to my rounds. You should, but neither of us moves. The air between us crackles with possibility. When it is clear neither one of us is leaving, he stares deeply into my eyes and asks, So, have I redeemed myself in your eyes? The late afternoon sun streams through Alexander's office windows, catching the hints of amber in his green eyes as his lips curve into a slight smile. His entire bearing radiates confidence as he waits for my assessment, one hand casually tucked into his pocket. I take my time studying him, noting how his expensive suit can't quite hide the tension in his shoulders. The carefully crafted image of the careless playboy is there, from his artfully disheveled hair to his casual lean against the desk. But I've seen beneath that veneer now, glimpsed the steel underneath when he risked everything to help Nyla and Jacob. The evidence shows promise, I say at last, unable to keep the hint of humor from my voice, but remains inconclusive. Inconclusive? He pushes off from the desk, closing the distance between us. What further proof do you require, Nurse Matthews? That remains to be determined. I tilt my head, meeting his intense gaze. Though I will say your recent actions have been intriguing. Just intriguing? His voice drops lower as he takes another step closer. I betrayed my family's interests, risked everything I've built. And why exactly did you do that? You know why? The playfulness drops from his expression, replaced by raw honesty that makes my breath catch. Do I? I keep my voice steady despite my racing pulse. You're the only one who sees through all of this. He gestures to his surroundings, the opulent office, his perfect suit. The only one who makes me want to be better? Alexander's grin sends an unexpected flutter through my stomach. He pushes off from his desk, adjusting his Italian silk tie with practiced ease. I believe the terms were dinner if I helped bring down Kevin. Mission accomplished. True, I tap my chin thoughtfully, though I didn't specify when. Tonight, 8 o'clock. His tone brooks no argument. Unless you're planning to back out? I always keep my promises. I meet his challenging gaze. But I chose the restaurant. Deal. He steps closer, close enough that I catch the subtle notes of his cologne. Text me the address. I'll send a car. I can drive myself. Humor me. His eyes dance with amusement. Consider it part of my ongoing redemption. Fine. I try to sound put upon but can't quite manage it. But nothing too fancy. I mean it. No promises? He winks, and despite my best efforts, I feel my lips curve into an answering smile. I turn to leave, but his voice stops me at the door. Lori? Yes? Thank you for giving me a chance to prove myself. The sincerity in his voice catches me off guard. I glance back to find him watching me with an intensity that makes my pulse quicken. "Don't make me regret it," I say softly, but we both hear the smile in my voice. His answering grin stays with me all the way back to the hospital, along with the unsettling realization that I'm actually looking forward to tonight.
Chapter 2, 132. Nyla. I smoothed down my pencil skirt, exhaustion weighing on my limbs as I pushed through the heavy oak doors of the boardroom. The sleepless night spent watching Jacob's every breath shows in the dark circles under my eyes, but my spine remained straight, ready for battle. Then my steps falter. Trixa sits at the gleaming conference table, perfectly coiffed in a cream Chanel suit, examining her manicure with practiced disinterest. The morning sun streaming through the windows catches on her diamond earrings, sending prisms dancing across the walls. "What are you doing here?" The words come out sharp as ice picks as I slide into a seat across from her. Trixa's perfectly arched eyebrow rises with deliberate slowness. "I'm still a board member, dear sister." Her blood-red lips curve into a predatory smile. "Did you forget?" "Not at all." I lean forward, matching her smile with equal venom. "Though that may change once the board hears how you conspired with Marcus behind their back." "Conspired?" She gives an airy laugh that doesn't reach her eyes. "Such dramatic accusations. And what exactly were you doing with Marcus? I'm sure the board would love to know about your exploits." Trixa's words hit like a slap. My righteous anger deflates as the truth of her accusation sinks in. The pristine boardroom suddenly feels suffocating. "At least I did it to save Jacob," I say, but the defense sounds hollow even to my ears. "Oh, please." Trixa leans forward, her diamond bracelet catching the light. "You loved every minute of outmaneuvering me, the thrill of finally being powerful enough to play in our league." Her smile is knowing, cruel. "Face it, you're just as ruthless as the rest of us now." My hands clench in my lap. The worst part is she's right. I'd told myself the ends justified the means, that I was different from Trixa and Marcus. But looking back at how easily I'd slipped into their world of manipulation and power plays. "The difference is I can admit what I am," Trixa continues, examining her perfect makeup. "You're still clinging to this fantasy that you're the noble heroine. It's pathetic, really." The truth of her words burns in my chest. I'd compromised everything I believed in, justified every moral line I crossed. And for what? To beat Trixa at her own game? "We're more alike than you want to admit, sister dear," she purrs. "The sooner you accept that, the better." I meet her gaze, shame and fury warring inside me. Because deep down, I know she's right. I've become exactly what I despised. I shake my head, the weight of guilt pressing down on my shoulders. "I didn't want to have to stoop to your level," I admit, my voice bitter with self-recrimination. "Now innocent lives will suffer while we battle for power." I watch something flicker across Trixa's perfectly composed features, a crack in her practiced facade. Her perfectly manicured hand pauses midair, hovering over her coffee cup. "What are you saying?" she asks, her voice lacking its usual sharp edge. "This rivalry between us, it's poisoning everything it touches. The hospital, Neuromax, Jacob." My voice catches on his name. "We're so focused on destroying each other, we've lost sight of what matters." Trixa's eyes widen slightly, genuine surprise replacing her usual calculated stare. She sets down her coffee cup with a soft clink against the polished table. "We don't have to keep doing this," I say quietly. "There could be another way." The silence stretches between us, heavy with possibility. For a moment, I glimpse something beneath Trixa's carefully constructed armor. Regret, exhaustion, maybe even a longing for peace. The boardroom doors burst open as other members file in, cutting off any chance for reconciliation between Trixa and me. Hilda strides to the head of the table. She takes Jacob's usual seat as if she has been in charge all along, and in a way I guess she has been. "Let's begin." Hilda's voice is tight as she shuffles papers before her. "First order of business, the Livingston's pharmacy distribution deal." My stomach twists as she continues, each word dripping with barely concealed disdain. "Thanks to Nyla's negotiating skills, we've secured the largest distribution contract in our company's history." Murmurs of approval ripple through the board members. Someone starts a scattered applause. "Production can begin immediately," a board member chimes in. "We should fast-track FDA approval." "The sooner we get Neuromax to market, the better," another agrees eagerly. My throat constricts. The reality of what I've done hits me like a physical blow. Thousands of lives destroyed by addiction, all because I wanted to beat Trixa at her own game. "I move we vote on immediate rollout," Hilda announces, not meeting my eyes. "Second," calls out an elderly board member. I grip the arms of my chair, my knuckles white. I have to stop this. But how? I've played right into their hands, given them exactly what they wanted. The very contract I fought so hard to win could be the instrument of destruction. "All in favor?" Hilda asks. Hands begin to raise around the table. I catch Trixa's eye across the polished wood. For once, her expression mirrors my own horror at what we've set in motion. Hilda shuffles through her papers, the rustle drawing my attention. "Next item, Miss Thomas has requested time to address concerns about another board member." My stomach tightens as I catch Trixa's calculating stare from across the polished mahogany table. But it isn't the right time to out her schemes. Not yet. "Actually," I straighten my spine, forcing calm into my voice, "I'd like to table that discussion for now. We have more pressing matters regarding Neuromax's safety protocols." "Very well." Hilda makes a neat mark on her agenda, her fountain pen scratching against the paper. Though I must say these last-minute changes to the agenda are rather unprofessional. "Unlike rushing an untested drug to market," the words slip out before I can stop them. Trixa's perfectly shaped eyebrows arch up, a hint of genuine surprise breaking through her practiced mask. She probably expected me to expose her today, but stopping Neuromax has to come first. I can deal with my scheming half-sister later. "The FDA fast-track approval," one of the board members begins, "doesn't guarantee patient safety," I cut in. "We need more extensive trials before—" "I believe we've already voted on this matter," Hilda interrupts smoothly. "Now shall we move on to distribution logistics?" I grip the arms of my chair, swallowing my protests. One battle at a time. First save the patients, then take down Trixa. I just hope I'm making the right choice.
You won't know what hit you, baby. I'm going to take you, break you, and make you mine. And when I'm done, you're...
Now hold on just a minute.
What?
I got something to say.
What's the meaning of this?
Now you may be some fine-looking white boy.
Got that right, baby. It takes hard work.
And you might got the money.
Fat stacks, baby, to spoil you with.
But that doesn't mean I'm going to give it up to you without a fight.
A fight?
You want some limp wilting flowers? Go to historical romance, baby. But you want sassy and spicy strong black queens that tame their alpha male bad boys?
I think our listeners do.
Then you go on and look at Miss Tyla's Bougie Brides and Billionaires audio bundle.
50 hours of me whispering the most romantic things in your ears. Fake marriages, alpha male billionaires, strong black women, steamy scenes that will make your eyes roll back. And everything wrapped up in a happily ever after that will put you in an afterglow.
Use code SAVE40 to get 40% off this bundle and any other digital product in Miss Tyla's store.
Unabridged and uncut.
Just like you?
You're gonna have to find out.
Tyla Walker Romances. Escape your life with sassy romance.
Chapter 2, 133. Lori. I smoothed down my black dress for the 100th time, scrutinizing my reflection in Nyla's full-length mirror. The fitted silhouette hugs my curves without being too revealing, hitting just above the knee. "Girl, you look amazing. Alexander won't know what hit him," Nyla says from where she's sprawled on her bed. "Are you sure this isn't weird?" I turn to face her. "After everything with his family and Jacob?" "Stop." Nyla sits up, fixing me with a stern look. "Alexander helped expose Kevin and Trixa. He chose to do the right thing despite the risks. And Jacob's stable now thanks to the cure." My shoulders relax slightly. "You're right, I never expected to feel this way about someone connected to all this drama." "Sometimes the heart wants what it wants," Nyla grins. "Besides, you deserve some happiness after being my rock through everything." A car horn sounds from outside. My stomach does a little flip as I peek through the curtains to see a sleek black Mercedes idling at the curb. That's my cue. I grab my clutch, suddenly feeling like a teenager before prom. "Have fun. Don't do anything I wouldn't do," Nyla calls after me with a laugh. I step outside into the cool evening air. Alexander emerges from the driver's side, looking devastatingly handsome in a perfectly tailored charcoal suit. His eyes travel appreciatively over my outfit as he approaches. "You look stunning," he says, voice rich with sincerity. "I want to give you an enchanting night after all your hard work." The warmth in his gaze makes my pulse quicken. Maybe Nyla's right. Sometimes you have to trust your heart, complicated backstories and all. The city sparkles below us like scattered diamonds as Alexander leads me to our table on the rooftop. A single candle flickers between us, casting dancing shadows across the pristine white tablecloth. "I have to admit," I say, settling into my chair, "this wasn't what I expected from the notorious Alexander Popov." His lips quirk up. "Let me guess. You pictured a dimly lit speakeasy with suspicious characters in dark corners?" "Something like that, though I suppose even crime bosses need a good wine list." "Former crime boss?" he corrects, eyes twinkling. "These days I prefer legitimate business ventures. Less shooting, better benefits." The waiter appears with menus, and Alexander orders a bottle of wine without glancing at the list. Show off. "So tell me," he says, leaning forward slightly, "what made you become a nurse?" "The usual, wanting to help people, good job security." I take a sip of water. Though lately it feels more like running a soap opera hospital. Yes, the Stone Thomas Swan drama, I should sell tickets." "Please don't give Trixa any ideas. She'd probably hire a film crew." His rich laugh sends warmth spreading through my chest. "You know, most people are too intimidated to joke with me. Most people haven't seen you panic over a paper cut, bleeding on your designer suit." "That was a very expensive suit," he protests with mock indignation. The conversation flows effortlessly after that, punctuated by shared laughter and lingering glances. I find myself oddly charmed by his mix of sophistication and self-deprecating humor. "I still can't believe you helped Nyla take down Kevin," I say as our entrees arrive. "That was quite a risk." "Worth it to see that smug bastard squirm?" He pauses. "And to impress a certain nurse who keeps me honest?" The city spreads beneath us like a glittering tapestry as Alexander's private helicopter lifts off from the restaurant's helipad. My stomach does a little flip that has nothing to do with the altitude and everything to do with the way his thigh presses against mine in the intimate cockpit. "First time in a helicopter?" Alexander's voice comes through crisp in my headset. "That obvious?" I grip the edge of my seat as we bank over Central Park. "Your knuckles are white." His hand covers mine, warm and steady. "Don't worry, I'm an excellent pilot." "Of course you are. Is there anything you can't do?" "Dance. I'm terrible at it. 2 left feet." I laugh, relaxing into his touch. The great Alexander Popov has a flaw after all. "Several, actually." His tone turns serious. "But I'm trying to be better." The lights of Manhattan twinkle below like fallen stars as we glide between skyscrapers. Alexander handles the controls with the same easy confidence he brings to everything. We touch down on top of a gleaming tower, the rotors slowing to a whisper. Alexander helps me out, his hand lingering at my waist. The night air carries a hint of autumn crispness. "The view up here is incredible," I breathe, taking in the panorama. "Yes, it is." But when I turn, he's not looking at the skyline. His green eyes capture mine with an intensity that makes my pulse race. Alexander steps closer, one hand coming up to cup my cheek. He pauses, giving me space to pull away if I want to. I don't. His lips meet mine, gentle at first, then deepening with passion as I lean into him. I gently break away from Alexander's intoxicating kiss, my hands pressed against his chest. The crisp night air cools my heated skin as reality crashes back. We can't, not yet. My voice comes out huskier than intended. Alexander's hands remain at my waist, his thumbs tracing maddening circles. Because of Nyla? She's been through so much, and Jacob... I step back, putting space between us. I need to be there for her until he recovers. Your loyalty is admirable. His accent wraps around the words like silk. It's one of the things that drew me to you. Just one of the things? I can't help teasing, trying to lighten the moment. I could list others, but we agreed to wait. His eyes spark with promise. I respect that you put your friend first. Thank you for understanding. I'm a patient man, bellissima. When you're ready, I'll be here. The way he says it, deep and assured, sends shivers down my spine. His self-control only makes him more appealing. But I square my shoulders, determined to focus on what matters most right now, supporting Nyla through Jacob's recovery. Take me home? I ask softly. Alexander nods, ever the gentleman, as he guides me back to the helicopter. His hand at the small of my back speaks of carefully restrained desire. The flight home passes in charged silence, full of things left unsaid. At my door, he brings my hand to his lips for a courtly kiss. Sweet dreams, Lori. I watch him stride away, his broad shoulders straight with dignified acceptance. My heart races with the promise of someday, but for now, duty calls.
Chapter 2, 134. Nyla. I slip into Grandfather's dimly lit room. The monitors cast an eerie blue glow across his sunken features. My throat tightens at the sight of his withered frame, so different from the strong man who raised me. "Hey, Grandpa," I whisper, settling into the chair beside him. His hand trembles as I take it in mine, the skin paper-thin and cool to the touch. The withdrawal symptoms from Neuromax ravage his system, symptoms I helped create by letting Marcus release this poison. His glassy eyes fix on me, recognition flickering briefly before fading again. The guilt crushes my chest, making it hard to breathe. "I'm so sorry, Grandfather. I never wanted this for you." My voice cracks. I thought I was doing the right thing, making the hard choices to save Jacob. But look what it's cost you. Cost everyone. His fingers twitch in mine, maybe trying to squeeze back, or maybe just another withdrawal tremor. The medical readouts show his vitals dropping steadily since they started weaning him off Neuromax. I'll fix this, I promise, though I don't know how yet. I won't let Marcus and Trixa destroy everything you worked for. I'll find a way to make the formula safe again. A tear splashes onto our joined hands. I quickly wipe my eyes, trying to stay strong, but seeing him suffer like this, knowing I played a part, the weight of it threatens to break me. I grip Grandfather's frail hand tighter, the bitter irony crushing my chest. Two men I love most in the world, both lying helpless in hospital beds because of my choices. Jacob, poisoned by the Savinov while trying to protect me. And now Grandfather, his body ravaged by the addictive Neuromax formula I have now helped release. The steady beep of the heart monitor echoes through the sterile room as I watch his chest rise and fall with shallow breaths. His skin feels paper-thin beneath my fingers, so different from the strong hands that used to swing me around as a child. Dr. Patel's shoes squeak against the linoleum as he enters, tablet in hand. The dark circles under his eyes speak to endless nights studying the Neuromax cases. "Any changes in the other patients?" I ask, though the grim set of his mouth already tells me the answer. "I'm afraid not." He shakes his head, checking Grandfather's vitals. The withdrawal symptoms are intensifying across the board. Blood pressure unstable, increased tremors, severe cognitive decline. "There has to be something we can do," my voice cracks. "Some way to reverse the addiction. We're trying everything." Dr. Patel's kind eyes meet mine. "But this formula, it's unlike anything we've seen before, the way it bonds to neural receptors." He trails off, attention caught by concerning numbers on the monitor. I watch him adjust medication doses, my stomach twisting. I am helping Marcus unleash this poison on innocent people. Now I'm watching it destroy the person who raised me, who gave me everything. The weight of my guilt threatens to suffocate me. Dr. Patel flips through his tablet, his usual calm demeanor slipping. Did you hear about the major distribution deal Stone Hospital Group just landed for Neuromax? Ice spreads through my veins. The contract I fought so hard to secure from Chase now feels like a noose around my neck. The board is fast-tracking nationwide release, he continues, adjusting grandfather's IV. Once this hits pharmacies across the country. He shakes his head, dark circles prominent under his eyes. The addiction potential alone could destroy hundreds of thousands of lives. My stomach lurches. As I watch grandfather's trembling hands, I did this. In my desperate quest to outmaneuver Trixa and save Jacob, I sealed the fate of countless innocent people. Someone has to stop this rollout, Dr. Patel says, his voice heavy with concern. We're seeing devastating withdrawal symptoms in just our small trial group. A nationwide release would be catastrophic. He turns to me, his expression earnest. You have connections here, Nyla. You have to do everything possible to prevent this from happening. I grip the edge of grandfather's bed, knuckles white. If only he knew I was the architect of this impending disaster. The weight of my choices crashes over me as I watch another tremor rack grandfather's frail body. My voice catches. I clear my throat and try again. I'll see what I can do. Dr. Patel nods gratefully, unaware that he's asking the very person responsible to undo their own handiwork. The irony tastes bitter in my mouth. I grip my phone, fingers trembling as I compose the message to the board members. Emergency meeting, 3 p.m. Mandatory attendance. The weight of what I'm about to do settles heavy in my chest. Are you sure about this? Derek asked from his position by the window. Once you reveal the truth about Neuromax's addictive properties, there's no going back. I have to. My voice comes out stronger than I feel. Look what it's doing to my grandfather, to all the trial patients. I won't let this poison destroy more lives just because I was too weak to stop it. Marcus won't take this lying down, Derek warns. Neither will Trixa. I don't care anymore. I stand, smoothing down my blazer. I got what I needed, Jacob's cure. Now I'm going to do what's right, even if it costs me everything. My phone buzzes with confirmations from board members. Each ping feels like another nail in my coffin, but also lifts a fraction of the crushing guilt from my shoulders. Want me there for backup? Derek offers. I shake my head. I started this mess. I need to face them alone. Just remember, you have allies here. You're not the villain they'll try to paint you as. Thanks. I manage a weak smile. But after what I've done, helping Marcus get this far, maybe I am. You're trying to make it right, Derek says firmly. That counts for something. I gather the damning research papers and trial data, tucking them into my briefcase. In 3 hours, I'll destroy everything I've fought so hard to build. But watching my grandfather suffer through withdrawal, I know it's the only choice I can live with. This is it, baby. This is what you can get me that'll make me happy.
You know I'll get you whatever you want. All you need to do is ask me and I'll give it to you.
This ain't just it. This is everything I could ever want.
Now I'm curious. What does a strong, sassy woman like yourself want so badly?
Baby, you know what I want?
I can't wait to hear.
The Big Baddie bundle from Tyla Walker. It has everything I need.
20 ebooks with over 1 million words of sassy romance and spice that'll keep you on your toes.
10 audiobooks containing over 60 hours of that seductive voice telling me naughty things all night long.
You don't need an audiobook for that, baby. Right here.
You may be fine and all, but no one tells it like the way Miss Tyla does. And I need her in my life.
The Big Baddie bundle is everything you need. You get it for 80% off.
Go to TylaWalker.com to browse the bundles that earn you the best deals.
It's time you treat yourself, because you deserve it.
Escape your life with Miss Tyla. Chapter 2, 135. Nyla. I slip into Jacob's hospital room. His face looks peaceful, but too still. I miss his animated expressions, the way his eyes would light up when he saw me. His vitals are improving, Lori says, checking the monitors. Brain activity is showing positive signs. But what? My stomach clenches. The recovery is slower than I'd expect with a proper antidote. Lori frowns at the charts. At this rate, it could be weeks before he fully regains consciousness. No. I pace the small room, my hands shaking. Marcus promised one dose would cure him. What if he lied? What if this is just temporary? He'll keep demanding more doses, keep controlling me forever. Hey! Lori grabs my shoulders, forcing me to stop. Take a breath. This spiral isn't helping anyone. But if Marcus tricked me, then we'll deal with that later. Lori's steady gaze anchors me. Right now, you need to focus on the board meeting. That's what matters. Making your case to stop Neuromax from destroying more lives. I draw in a shaky breath, letting her words sink in. She's right. I can't let my fears about Marcus derail what needs to be done. You're right. I squeeze her hand. Thank you for everything. Go get 'em, Lori smiles. Show them what you're made of. I touch Jacob's hand one last time, then straighten my spine and head for the door. One battle at a time. I stand at the podium, my hand steady as I click through the slides. The stark numbers fill the screen. 247 patients showing severe addiction symptoms, 89 experiencing seizures, 15 in critical condition. These aren't just statistics, I say, my voice cutting through the hushed boardroom. These are people, your patients, our responsibility. The next slide shows video footage. A middle-aged woman convulsing in her hospital bed, foam at her mouth. A teenager screaming for his next dose, fighting against restraints. My grandfather, once proud and strong, now a shell of himself. Several board members shift uncomfortably in their seats. Dr. Chen removes his glasses, rubbing his eyes. Even Hilda's usual smirk falters. As you can see, Neuromax's addictive properties are devastating. I click to the final slide. The withdrawal symptoms are worse than heroin. Hilda's voice cuts through the silence. Fascinating presentation, Nyla. Her perfectly elegant fingers tap against the mahogany table. But it raises an interesting question. Why did you just secure a $1 billion distribution deal for a drug you clearly don't believe in? The room temperature seems to drop 10 degrees. I meet her cold stare head on. I did what was necessary to gain control of this situation, to help the hospital, yes, but more importantly, to help these patients. I gesture to the frozen image of my suffering grandfather. Now that I have the power to stop this, I'm using it. We cannot release Neuromax to the public. How noble! Hilda's words drip with sarcasm. Such a convenient time for your conscience to appear. Better late than never. I snap back. Unlike some people, I can admit when I'm wrong. I grip the edge of the table, my knuckles whitening. The liability could bankrupt us. These aren't just statistics. They're real people whose lives we're destroying. The legal department has vetted everything thoroughly, Hilda says, adjusting her Hermes scarf with practiced nonchalance. As long as we include the standard addiction warnings, responsibility falls on the user. That's morally bankrupt and you know it. I slam my palm on the polished oak. We've seen the withdrawal symptoms firsthand. My own grandfather. Your personal attachment is clouding your judgment. Hilda cuts in smoothly. The contracts are signed. Production starts in a few weeks. This discussion is merely academic at this point. Academic? My voice rises. There's nothing academic about watching someone you love waste away from drug dependency. Perhaps you should have considered that before securing the distribution deal yourself. Trixa chimes in, examining her manicure. Bit late for buyer's remorse. I turn to the other board members, desperate for support. We can still halt distribution, pay whatever penalties. Enough. Hilda's voice cracks like a whip. The matter is settled. Distribution begins in 30 days. I suggest you make peace with that reality. The finality in her tone leaves no room for debate. My shoulders slump as I realize I've lost this battle before it even began. I helped set this disaster in motion, and now I'm powerless to stop it. I storm out of the boardroom, my heart beating in my chest like angry percussion. The security guard by the elevator takes one look at my face and wisely steps aside. That went well, Trixa drawls, catching up to me. You really thought they'd halt a billion-dollar launch because of your moral crisis? I whirl around. You saw the clinical data. You know what this will do to people. Business is business. She shrugs, adjusting her Cartier bracelet. Besides, you're the one who secured the distribution deal. The truth of her words hits me like a physical blow. I lean against the wall, the cool marble grounding me. There has to be another way, I mutter, more to myself than her. Face it, Sis. You played the game and won. Time to enjoy the spoils. Trixa's walks off, her hips swaying as she strides through the room with purpose. I wish I could be that relaxed. But this is a crisis, and I'm the only one who wants to stop it. I pull out my phone, scrolling through my contacts. The regulators? No. The board would bury any investigation in red tape. The media? They'd twist it into sensationalized headlines without stopping production. My finger hovers over Marcus's number. He gave me the antidote for Jacob. Maybe he'd help prevent this catastrophe too. But trusting him again feels like making another deal with the devil. The weight of what I've set in motion settles heavy in my chest. 30 days until distribution begins. 30 days to stop this train before it derails and takes countless lives with it. What have I done? I whisper to the empty hallway.
Hey fam, if it's even still possible, Nyla's fight just got even messier. She's determined to get the antidote for Jacob, but at what cost? And now, with Neuromax about to hit the market, she's running out of time to fix the damage. But after everything Marcus has done, I'm not sure we can trust anything he says or does, including this antidote. Is this antidote really the answer? Find out next time on Say Less, I Love You.